This man you see here is Ahmet Ali Çelikten. He is widely known as the world's first black military pilot. Another interesting thing about him is that he's Turkish. Çelikten served in the Ottoman Air Force during World War I, later joined the Turkish War of Independence, and continued working in aviation after the founding of the Turkish Republic. His story is just one example of the many contributions Afro Turks have made to Turkish society. Today, there are thousands of people of African descent living in Türkiye. The exact number is uncertain, with some estimates suggesting around 100,000 and others going as high as 1.5 million. However, before going any further, it is important to make a distinction. This story is not about African immigrants, students, or asylum seekers who have arrived in Türkiye in the last few decades. It is about the Afro Turks, a distinct community whose ancestors came to Anatolia centuries ago during the Ottoman Empire. So how did the Africans end up here, and how did they become such an integral yet little known part of Turkish history? Between the 16th and 19th centuries, the Ottoman Empire had deep ties with Africa through trade, religion, and migration. Africans were brought to Ottoman lands from modern-day regions such as Sudan, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Kenya, Libya, and Egypt. Many came through the Red Sea routes and North African coasts, ending up in cities like Istanbul, Izmir, and Aydın. Most were enslaved and taken to work in palaces, large households, or on agricultural estates of the Aegean and Mediterranean regions. Yet not all came through slavery. Some arrived voluntarily as merchants, sailors, or soldiers looking for opportunity in a powerful empire. Over time, Africans in the Ottoman world found a wide range of roles. Some worked as farmers, others as domestic workers or guards. Some even rose to high positions in the Ottoman administration and military. There were African eunuchs who held power in the imperial harem, and one of the most important of these positions was called the chief harem eunuch, who wielded immense influence in the palace and often acted as a political advisor with access to the Ottoman Sultan himself. There were also Afro Turk soldiers who served in the navy, and even wrestlers and state officials who became local heroes. In the mid-19th century, the Ottoman Empire began abolishing slavery. Freed Africans were resettled in the Aegean provinces, in regions such as Izmir, Aydın, Muğla, and Çanakkale. They formed small farming communities that still exist today. After the First World War and the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, the Republic of Türkiye was founded in 1923. Most Afro Turks stayed and integrated into the new Turkish state, while a small number emigrated to Africa, the Middle East, or Europe. Those who remained became a part of rural Anatolian life, working as farmers, artisans, and soldiers. By then they spoke Turkish, practiced Islam, and saw Türkiye as their only home. Yet within their families, fragments of African heritage survived through songs, stories, and traditional celebrations. One group that joined them during this time were the Afro Turks from Crete. When the population exchange between Türkiye and Greece took place in 1923, Muslim communities from Greece, including Cretan families of African descent, were relocated to Anatolia. Many of these Afro Turks from Crete spoke only Greek when they arrived and had to learn Turkish from scratch, adapting once again to a new homeland while carrying the memories of another. One of the strongest surviving traditions of the Afro Turk community is the Dana Bayramı, or Calf Festival. It is a lively spring celebration filled with music, dance, and joy, symbolizing rebirth and gratitude. The tradition has African roots and resembles old harvest festivals brought across the Red Sea centuries ago. In the past, elder women known as Godyas played a central role in the celebration. They were respected community figures who led rituals, told fortunes, and blessed families during the festival. In earlier times, a calf would be purchased collectively and sacrificed to pray for rain and a fertile harvest. Afterward came days of music and communal feasting. Over time, as customs evolved, the Afro Turks stopped sacrificing the animal, and the festival became a purely cultural event focused on gathering, dancing, and remembering their ancestors. For a long time, until the 2000s, the Dana Bayramı had faded away. But in recent years, the Afro-Turkish community has revived it proudly, not just as a local festivity, but as a declaration of presence and identity. Through this festival, they reconnect with their African ancestry while embracing their Turkish identity, reflecting the dual soul of the Afro-Turk experience.
Bir tarafı da gidemiyoruz. Tamam buralıyız yani buradayız. Sudan'dan dedemiz gelmiş buralara. Babamız da burada doğmuş büyümüş. Ege'liyiz. Aydınlı'dan daha fazla Aydınlıyım yani ben burada. Memnunuz yani burada. İyi yani rahatımız iyi yani.
Yani biz kendimizi Türklerden yani Aydınlardan farklı bir hissetmiyoruz yani. Yani milli bayramlarımızda olsun kendimizi yani coşkuyla kutluyoruz aynı Türk insanları gibi. İstiklal Marşımızı seviyoruz, bayrağımızı seviyoruz. Siyah beyaz diye bir ayrım şey olmaz yani hiçbir şey yok. Yani herkesin hani dini, dili, onu bunu ayrı bile hepimiz de Allah yarattı.
Yüzyıllardan beri buradayız, bu topraklarda yaşıyoruz. Ayrılmıyoruz, aslında çok iyi entegre olmuşuz topluma. Sadece insanlar artık çok fazla şaşırmasınlar yani. Hala da gördükleri zaman işte şaşırıyorlar, aa çok güzel Türkçe konuşuyorsun diye söylüyorlar. Ben de ana dilim Türkçe diye söylüyorum. Yani ana dilim Türkçe, Türkiye Cumhuriyeti vatandaşıyım.
For much of the 20th century, Afro Turks lived quietly and were largely assimilated. Their history was rarely mentioned in schools, museums, or media. They became what many call an invisible community in Turkey's population of around 85 million people. This began to change thanks to individuals such as Mustafa Olpak, a carpenter from Ayvalık in western Turkey who traced his family roots back to Kenya. He founded the African Culture and Solidarity Association and published his family's story in a book titled Kenya, Crete, Istanbul. Olpak became an important figure in the Afro Turk community. Through his words and actions, he inspired a new generation to embrace their heritage with pride. He once said, "We are black and we are from here, part of this rich Anatolian culture, Turk but black." His work gave Afro Turks a collective voice and inspired new discussions about race, identity, and forgotten histories within Türkiye. Since then, documentaries, exhibitions, and academic research have helped bring their history into public awareness. Today, Afro Turks proudly reclaim their heritage, organize cultural events, and share their oral histories to preserve their past for future generations. Although Afro Turks are well integrated and respected members of society, they occasionally face the kind of awkward curiosity that anyone different from the majority might experience. It usually comes from a place of surprise rather than malice, as most people in Turkey have never learned about a native black population. Many Turks are astonished to meet an Afro Turk who speaks Turkish as a native language. Some even jokingly ask them to show their ID card just to make sure that they're not recent immigrants.
Hangi dil? Ben seni Nijeryalı zannettim.
Yok burada doğdum. Bir tek Türkçe konuşabiliyorum ben başka bir dil bilmiyorum.
Yok ben seni Nijeryalı zannettim. Abla kimliği göster. Bir sakıncası yok değil mi?
Yok da yani bunu da yaptırdınız.
The current population of Afro Turks is estimated to be between 5,000 to 100,000, with most living in western Turkey, particularly in the Aegean region. However, many sources claim that 20,000 is a more likely number. As we mentioned, they are predominantly Muslim, speak Turkish, and are fully integrated into society, yet they continue to honor the memory of their African roots. Over the decades, the Afro Turks have become prominent figures in different layers of Turkish society. They have been sculptors, actors, actresses, ballerinas, TV personalities, athletes, football players, journalists, and authors. Additionally, there have been many Turkish singers of African descent who perform different genres. The two most popular of these singers are undoubtedly Esmeray and Safiye Ayla, both of whom are unfortunately not with us anymore. In the beginning of the video, we briefly covered Ahmet Ali Çelik'ten. In addition to being known as the first black war pilot in history, he has a quite interesting life. Born in 1883 in the city of Izmir in West Anatolia to an Afro Turk family of Nigerian descent, he first served in the Ottoman Air Force. During World War I, he fought in the Ottoman army. In the Turkish War of Independence, he supported the Turkish nationalist movement as a war pilot. After the Republic of Turkey was founded in 1923, he worked in the Turkish aviation industry for many years. He passed away in 1969 at the age of 85 in Izmir. Çelikten is often regarded as the Black Eagle of the Turkish aviation. Ultimately, the story of the Afro Turks is a story of belonging. It is about people who crossed seas and built lives in a new land. It is about generations who worked, dreamed, and contributed to the fabric of Turkish society while keeping the echoes of Africa alive in their hearts. Their story reminds us that identity is not about purity, but about connection. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.